The man that killed Nigerian pastor's wife in New Jersey has been sentenced to life in prison. On February 1st, 2023, the town of Saraville, New Jersey, was shaken by unthinkable tragedy. Pastor and councilwoman Eunice DFO, just 30 years old, was ambushed and also down in a car outside her home. This week, the man was convicted of buying her. This man was 31-year-old man called Rashid Ali Baino. Ali was also a fellow church member. But behind this shocking case lies a story that stretched from New Jersey to Nigeria, from prayer circle to betrayal, and still leaves one haunting question: why? Eunice was more than just a local politician. She was the daughter of Ghanaian immigrants, a devoted mother, and a rising leader in both American politics and the Nigerian-rooted champion Royal Assembly Church. She had just married the Nigerian pastor, Pastor Eze Chukwu, in Abuja, few weeks just before her death. A union that should have marked the beginning of a joyful new chapter. To our community, she was Pastor Eunice, a woman of faith, a voice of inspiration, a Saraville's first black elected officer. But Eunice's story was also a symbol of immigrants' dream, balancing motherhood, public service, and her church role. She carried responsibility far beyond her years. She stood as proof that first-generation children of immigrants could not only belong, but can also lead. That's what made her sudden death feel like more than just a personal tragedy. It was a collective wound for the community she represented. Ironically, Eunice and Brown first crossed paths through their shared faith. She recruited him into her Bible study group. She recruited him into the Fire Congress Fellowship years earlier in Virginia. At one point, he even lived under the same roof as Eunice and her younger daughter. But when ties with the church soared, prosecutors say, Brian drove from Virginia back to New Jersey and carried out a calculated ambush 14 times into her car. This shocking betrayal left investigators and later jury struggling to understand what drove him. Was it resentment over church dispute, or a personal grudge, or even something darker and more irrational? To this day, that mystery casts a shadow over the entire case. Neighbors recall hearing the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. One even described seeing a man in a dark cloth at our window car side before fleeing. Yuli's 11-year-old daughter was inside their apartment and she heard that ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. But she never imagined that her mother wouldn't walk back through the door. Police soon linked a white Hyundai Elantra rented by Brown. Cell phone data that placed him at that scene. And the DNA was also found on a Glock of the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, which was recovered later from his girlfriend's home. In June 2025, after a month-long trial and testimony from nearly 40 witnesses, Brown was convicted of and offenses. This week, a New Jersey judge handed him life in prison, calling the crime a horrific and senseless ambush of a helpless and innocent victim. But in court, Eunice's family reminded everyone that justice does not erase pain that they are going through. Her young daughter's letter was read aloud in court. Why did you buy my mom? She was my friend and my everything. Her father, Prince DFO, declared, I don't forgive you. You don't have the power to destroy her legacy. Her husband, Pastor Eze Chukwu, could barely hold back tears, remembering her smile and praying only for justice to prevail. It was a powerful reminder that even though a sentence had been delivered, the law still lives on every day for those who loved her. Prosecutors never established a clear motive though. Why would someone Eunice once helped, someone she trusted within a church circle, come back to end her life so like that? Her sister Priscilla asked Brown directly in court, "You drove how long to come and buy my sister? What type of man are you?" But Brown didn't offer any answer at all. This silence leaves a void, one that no trial, no sentence, and no explanation from the law enforcement agencies has been able to fill. For many, that unanswered why is still what makes this case unsettling. For Saravili, this case is more than personal tragedy. Eunice spy sparks fears among safety in politics, about trust in community network, and about how conflict inside faith-based organization can spiral into something darker. Her spy has also reverberated in Nigeria and Ghana, where church members and family still mourn her as a woman who carried both African heritage and Christian faith proudly on foreign soil. And for immigrant community in the US, our story is now a cautionary tale, a reminder of both the power and vulnerability of living at the intersection of faith, politics, and identity. This story leaves us with both sorrow and lessons. Before we close, let's pause for some practical lessons here, especially for Africans in the diaspora. Because Eunice's story is not just about tragedy, it's about prevention. Number one, pay attention to unsolved conflict. Most violence doesn't come from strangers. It often comes from people we know. If someone in your circle is showing signs of anger, obsession, or even hostility, don't ignore it. Take it seriously and seek mediation or even outside help. Two, strengthen community accountability. Churches, mosques, and community groups need systems to address dispute instead of letting them go unresolved. Don't sweep issues under the rug. Three, prioritize personal safety. If you are in public leadership or visible community service, please beware of your routine and surroundings. Small steps like well-lit parking areas, installing home security cameras, or even having trusted person to check in with you can make a difference. Number four, know your local support system. Every US city has hotline, victim support center, and law enforcement liaison for immigrant communities. Save those numbers and share them, and don't hesitate to use them if something fails off. Number five, protect women leaders. Eunice was both a mother and a political leader. Community must do more to stand behind women who step into public role, ensuring that they feel safe and supported, not isolated. How do we resolve dispute peacefully without going into ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta of a thing? How do we notice early warning signs before bitterness turns into violence? Our proof forces us to ask, are African women in diaspora leadership role getting enough protection? Do immigrant community rally around them strongly enough? Eunice's story is not just about one woman. It's about every African family abroad that wants safety, dignity, and justice. It's about making sure that our church and community groups doesn't become silent battleground. It's about watching over one another, not just spiritually, but emotionally and physically too. So, as we reflect on Eunice DFO's life, let us remember her not only as a victim, but as a voice that still challenges us to build safer space for our women, that still challenges us to build also our leaders and our community abroad. And finally, for immigrants and diaspora leaders like Eunice, their struggle often stretches across continents, balancing faith, politics, family, and survival in a world that can sometimes turn against them. As Eunice's daughter said, "My mom was so kind, she wouldn't hurt a fly. Her legacy will not be defined by the credit of the person that by her, but by the love and service she gave to her people in New Jersey, in Nigeria, and beyond." This is African Black Gold TV, where we bring you the stories that matter to Africans in diaspora. Please, kindly turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime that I come with the update. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Till I see you in the next video, please subscribe.